Alright, some thoughts on the Scout Terra. So, really beefy tires. I don't know if that's going to come to production. Looks like it probably will. The running boards are all built in. That was really neat point. Had some storage bed stuff that they threw in the back here. Cork board, or I guess that's cork. Some sort of nice finish. I actually really like that. The bench seat is amazing. I'm a big fan of that bench seat. I think I would really like that. Even though I use the center console all the time. It's a very large and just beefy truck, metal, big tires, very like throwback to the old Scout. Now let's talk about some of the details. The front here, you see how it's really small? It's actually going to be a much deeper in reality. They had to make a lot of changes to that. The engine generator portion is actually in the back. It's not up front, so you're going to get more front space than what was shown. Big tailgate, very large, just bulky truck, and it's obviously got really great seating. Just really beefy style truck. As you can see, I got it here on the screen now. It's going to be a really neat truck. Obviously, this is a rendering, but you saw the truck. A lot of this stuff, it had really large, front bumper here, neat tires and different things like that. The step rest over here. They're indicating, lots of bed storage. The big thing about the Scout really is the fact that, it's supposed to be able to be worked on in your driveway with 90% components to be able to work. It's body on frame per se. It's a skid. It's a skateboard. Really is what it is, and that body sits on top of that. But they're going to launch with the Harvester here, right? That's what they're launching with, is the Harvester version, and what that is, that's an EREV, extended range electric vehicle, which basically has an onboard generator. The way that's going to work, based on talking with them, is it won't always turn on. It's only going to turn on when you need it. It will also it's going to recharge the battery, right? So it's a little gas generator that will cut on. It's not like a hybrid, so it's a gas generator that cuts on. It recharges the battery as you drive. You'll be able to get. They haven't released mileage yet, but there's some vehicles, like I think the Ford was saying, like 900 miles, 800 miles. They mentioned some of those types of numbers, and even they acknowledge that they're launching with it to get the EV adoption. But what people are going to find out is that they're not going to really need that mileage. They're not going to use that generator as much as they think they will, but they're going to get all the benefits of an EV. So it's going to be, powertrain is going to be electric motors. The power is going to come from the batteries and the high voltage system. So you'll get nice acceleration. You can get really good torque. You're going to get that no transmission feel to it. So you're going to get all the benefits of an EV. But you're going to get that transition fear a little bit of a way, because people are going to be like, well, hey, I can go 900 miles and I can fill it up with gas and this and that. And I think it will increase the transition, or that the people to take that step to the next level. Because there's always that little bit of a fear in people's head that, I'm not going to find a charger. I take a road trip once a year for 12 hours, and I won't be able to do that in an EV. And it's just the reality of people is that they have this fear, and people tend to get scared out of doing these things. EVs aren't cheap, right? So it's a big investment, rightfully so. So you're making a big investment. You want to remove some of the risk to your purchase and what you're going to be living with. So the idea is that people will buy this because they won't have that fear. And then they will see the benefits of EV. They will realize that they don't need gasoline, and likely they won't be able to go back to gasoline because the transition between the two different vehicles is EV's got to has a really high, state of staying there. People don't usually go back to gasoline once they have converted to EV. The transition, it's a good blend, and I personally like it. I would not want that. I have no need for that. I made the transition the old-fashioned way, just switching, and realized with a little bit of a, just doing it, and that it's a great transition. So it was interesting talking with some of the people there. There was also people from the plant that just came to view the vehicle as well, show their significant others maybe who hadn't seen the vehicle, and some of the changes. There's changes happening to make it more manufacturable. There's more changes happening for testing reasons, and so what you're seeing is not the final product. All of these prototypes you've seen, which is just a handful of prototypes, they are not the final product. So we should see it soon. The EREV sounds like, talking with them, it's still going to hit PPAP production checks and everything like that, probably at the beginning of next year. So I would think that indicates, if there's no issues, no big issues, no big changes, a mid 2027, maybe Q3 2027 launch. So you're basically, what you're getting with the Rivian R2 this year, you're going to get with the Scout next year. And like I said, it's going to start with the Harvester package. I don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2 vehicles. We'll get that, but it sounds like the earliest is likely mid of next year for production on the Scout. I would probably say it's more likely Q3 of next year, so 2027 launch. But we'll see. They haven't announced any of that yet. That was just kind of working in automotive previously and just talking with people. The vibe I got, without them directly saying anything, right? You just kind of get these sense of, I know what the process is. I know how that whole process happens all the way to production, and so that's just the vibe I got. Obviously, things can change. There can be issues in testing. Obviously, you're talking about still changing the design, right? And we're a year from that point. Changing the design, but it's likely going to be small changes for manufacturability. So that's kind of the update that I got. I hope that we get to see these Scouts, next year. They're pretty exciting. I like the idea of being able to work on it. I like the idea of a big, Bronco style EV, and I like the idea of it potentially getting more butts in the seat for an electric vehicle, so they can really experience what it's like driving an electric vehicle. It'll transition people. Obviously, that's kind of what my thing is, right? That's my care, is getting people into more sustainable transport. Not only from the reason for doing it, but also just proving to people that the vehicles are better, and that's coming from a gearhead, right? A mechanical engineer who's a gearhead. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like the video. As you can see, I've got a lot of videos, 229 videos on my channel, which is kind of crazy. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I do this for fun, and sometimes it's kind of late. I have things such as Greenworks tools and disassembly tool, a lot of Tesla things. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I've been, like I said, making these videos for many years now, 230 videos almost, and I've got a couple in the queue that I'm going to make pretty quickly. So we'll see you guys on the next one.